Good evening and welcome to the City Council special meeting of Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. I know it is odd for us to meet on Tuesdays, but yesterday was a Memorial Day, so hopefully you all celebrated that and remembered those who have fallen before us. With that, Ms. Clerk, if you'll call us in.
Yes. Council members Barajas,
Present.
Blaisdell,
Present.
Grimm. Okay. Harpster,
Present.
Perales,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Milne,
I'm present.
and Mayor Serrano.
I am here, and I apologize, I did skip over our typical read-in, so for those following along, their agenda packet's available on the back of this table right there, next to Mr. Grambois, who's there presently. For those following along, www.pasco-wa.gov/agenda. The meeting's televised on PSC-TV, channel 191 in Spectrum. In Pasco and Richland, it's streamed on the city's Facebook page, website, YouTube channel, and via Microsoft Teams. This and previous council meeting is available on the city's website. The public may submit comments either using the Ask Pasco app or through the city clerk or city manager's office. With that, we've had the roll call read, and if you'd all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. That'll move us along to item number 4, which is our public comment period of the special meeting. The public may may comment on topics scheduled for final action identified in the agenda for this special meeting. Citizen comments are normally limited to 3 minutes by the clerk and myself and via the clock. Those with lengthy messages are invited to summarize their comments or submit written information to either the clerk or to council through the city manager's office. Lastly, if you're called upon, please state your name and your county of residence. So with that, if you have public comment on final actions to be taken in this special meeting, I invite you to the podium. Going once, going twice, 3 times. With that, we have no public comments. We'll move along to item number 5, which is ordinances and resolutions not relating thereto. We do have a couple of items here. We got A and B, and the first one is item A, ordinance number 4767, Transportation Impact Fee Program. It looks like Ms. Sarah is going to be presenting that.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. We will have, okay,
Mayor?
can I make it work?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Perales, I didn't see your light.
I'm sorry about that. I was, in the interest of time, I want to make a motion to postpone the vote on the traffic impact fee program. I have reservations, so I'd like to make a motion to postpone it until the school impact fee, ILA and all that stuff gets figured out. I don't think adding another fee on top of other fees, perhaps that shouldn't be in motion right now. It's not prudent to do with a lot of the housing affordability issues we see. And so rather than have Director Sarah give us a presentation, I just want to cast or make a motion for that. And if that can pass, then we can bring this back at another date, preferably when the school impact fee ILA and stuff is addressed.
Okay, so we've got a motion to table this vote until the school impact fee ILA is addressed. Do we have a second, Mr. Officer?
I'll second with discussion.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second. Let's open the floor for discussion.
I would just say I concur with Ms. Perales' comments. If there's a way that we could vote on it this evening and ensure a specific date that it does not go into effect till, I'd also be open to that, but I think the easiest path may be to just postpone it until such time as Mr. Perales mentioned. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any further discussion? I will note that I believe I was CC'd on an email from Mr. Grimm indicating similar thoughts. I don't want to speak for you, Charles, but I don't hear you. Mr. Grimm, can you hear us? And if so, oh, there we go.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, my thoughts are pretty much spoken in email. I just don't think it's fair to the developers of the Pasco homes to have both these on the books at the same time. And just in case there's a hiccup at the school level or something, I would be concerned about passing something totally dependent on them on a certain date for
Thank you, Mr. Grimm. Mr. Milne.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So if we were to table this, do we have an idea of like how long this would be tabled or what would be recommended? I'm not sure if you're aware of. I mean, when would you say realistically that this would come out with what Mr. Councilman Perales is talking about? What kind of time frame are we looking at?
Well, just from a procedural standpoint, the one of the things you have to do with an ordinance is it has to have an effective date. You can make that date very well into the future, but that's why they call it an effective date, not an effective event. You can sometimes make things condition precedent so that things have to happen before something else takes place. But the problem with this situation is that the ordinance is going to modify large portions of the code, and so you really would need to have an effective date, say January 1, 2026 or something like that, if you went forward on one of these options. So it really, from a procedural standpoint, if the council wants an absolute guarantee that something's going to happen prior to moving forward, then tabling it would be the preferred route, I would think, because if you pass something and make it effective, then you may have to come back and unpass it later on.
Okay, well, thanks for the clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing that, I liked Mr. Harpster's idea of utilizing a condition precedent, but hearing from our legal counsel that's not advisable. I do think it makes sense to sit on this until we have things worked out with the school district. I appreciate the points before me not needing to re-raise them. Any further discussion? If not, let's go ahead and do a roll call vote on this one, Ms. Clerk. Sorry, just to remind folks, because it's been a while since the motion was made, this would be to table this to a date. Do we want to set a date post enactment of the school district, like the first regular meeting? I guess that's technically a modification. So at this point, it's just open-ended. And then we can direct staff the time according to if we move.
It sounded like, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Perales, but I thought the motion was to table this until such time as the school impact fee amendment can be effective. Is
Okay.
that correct?
Okay.
And you can make that an event.
Okay. Sounds good, Mr.
I would just say, yeah, my suggestion, this is the way council wants to go, would be to just schedule them both for the same night. You can deal with the school impact fee. That'll have an effective date. You can match the effective date of the school impact fee, the effective date of the traffic impact fee.
Are you requesting that in the motion, or is that something we can direct that's adequate direction?
I think if there's no objection to council, I think we can staff can just bring it back at the same time. I don't know, we necessarily need that as part of the motion.
Any objections to that approach? Okay, so with that, I think we know what we're going with. We got to vote here, Ms. Clerk.
Okay. Councilmember Grimm. Councilmember Grimm.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Harpster.
Yes.
Councilmember Perales.
Yes.
Councilmember Barajas.
Yes.
Councilmember Blaisdell.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Milne
Yes.
and Mayor Serrano.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Okay. So sounds like you all know what you're doing, and we know what we're doing, right? Thank you. Thank you for being prepared, Miss Sarah. With that, we'll move along to item B, which is joint resolution number 4604, extension of the interlocal and financing lease agreement for the HAPO Center facility until December 31, 2025. Interim City Manager Zabel, looks like it's yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council. So, as Council is well aware, the city and county have had a long-standing partnership over HAPO Center for about the last 30 years. And that partnership, for the benefit of the audience, exists formally through an interlocal agreement, which actually dates back prior to that, 1994. A little bit of history over the years. Pasco's invested about $7.7 million into that facility. The majority of it, $5.6 million for operational subsidies per the agreement, and about $2.1 million for 20 years worth of loan payments towards the initial capital outlay for construction of the project itself. So the original agreement was a 30-year agreement, and it was set to expire on May 24, 2024. Council extended that agreement in December of 2024, and we're now coming up to the expiration of that agreement, which will be in May 31st of this year. So we have to act fairly quickly. So we've been, we have a committee of council members, staff, and then some other meetings have occurred, and trying to get us to probably an extension. There was no way we were going to be able to, in the amount of time we had left when we really started meeting with the council or the commission, no way really to pull together a comprehensive agreement in just a couple months. And so we pulled together with their cooperation, just a brief extension. We talked about this a little bit at the retreat and got some direction from council that council would be willing to entertain an extension to the end of this year. But council had some conditions on that extension. There were some things that they specifically wanted to talk about having to do with governance, which has been an area of discussion over the course of the agreement, finances, whether that's capital or operational, even down to what the facility, what's the best use for that facility. We talked about review of cost centers and when it comes to finance, to look at operating revenues and expenses and make some fresh determination as to whether or not the split, the 50-50 split that's in the ILA now is appropriate. So that there's about probably 12 or so items that are listed in the resolution. Those are not necessarily demands in that resolution. They're really a list of topics that we're going to talk about that we're interested in the council, and they're not all inclusive either. The guy invited the county to add anything to the list they wanted to. They felt that was a pretty good list to talk about, but there's maybe other items come up during the course of those negotiations. So this extension gives some time to talk about these and other issues, and ultimately for the county commissioners and the city council to decide at the end of the day whether or not they want to continue the relationship through a successor interlocal agreement or a pretty beefed up extension that would probably very much modify the initial thing. I think one other piece of that is that I want to bring up, because it's something that we've talked about quite a bit, is the disposition of the land leased by the city or by the county, by the city from the county for the ball fields. And so that's also another piece of that. As council's aware, that's typically been on a 5-year lease. It's $1 a year. Maybe the last couple times it's been a little awkward, I'll say, between the agencies, $1 a year. It's getting to be pretty valuable real estate, although on the other hand, the county or the city has invested millions of dollars literally in that site to develop those ball fields. It was sagebrush before it was ball fields. So both the county has ownership of the land, the city has a huge investment in that parcel. So that's another big piece. And what council had directed staff at the retreat was we need to be working towards long-term security for those ball fields, rather, because they play such an integral role in our community. Those more than every 5-year lease with an option to extend. So those are the pieces. Tomorrow, the Franklin County Commissioners will be considering the same agreement. It's on their agenda. And if it passes here tonight and passes across the street tomorrow, we will have some time to negotiate all these issues, A through I, in the resolution, and probably more. And staff's recommendation is the council approve the agreement. I guess one other piece probably worth mentioning is that it keeps the original ILA status quo in terms of the subsidy share and operation responsibilities, things like that.
Thank you, Mr. Zabel. Do you have any questions or comments from council? Mr. Harpster.
Yeah, I just want to comment on the fact that it's a little aggravating. We're doing a third extension over the last, I think, 18 months or so. However, I am pleased with the leadership changes at Franklin County, and specifically Mr. Dansel, their new county administrator, and have been able to talk with him about this. I've talked with Mr. Zabel about this, as well as one of the commissioners, and I think extending this one more time is what's in the best interest for the residents of Pasco and Franklin County for the long term. And so I don't want to say I'm happy to extend because I would hope that we'd be further along, but I think we're making good progress.
Thank you, Mr. Harpster. Mr. Prowse.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, and I agree with a lot of the same sentiment from Councilmember Harpster, but I'll say this. I think my plan on behalf of the committee is this is the last one. I don't care if we're here on Christmas Eve, but before the end of the year, this needs to get done. And we're working diligently with our counterparts across the street, but you know, I do intend on seeing this being the last extension. I like the conversations that I've had, that the committee's had, and I think we're getting there. And I think from here on out, we're gonna see something come together here shortly and here in the near term. So don't get me wrong, I share the same frustrations, but negotiations sometimes take time. And I think with some of the changes that we've seen there over at the county at the courthouse, they've been good. Again, the conversations have been great, and so yeah, no, I this is on the list to get done for the end of the year. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prowse. Ms. Prowse.
This is a question more for staff, and I'm looking at Ms. Sigdell. We've extended this a couple times. Is there any accountability to the individuals managing this organization to, as far as the accounting, as far as the reporting, so that we can finally come to a final last interlocal agreement to where we don't have to depend on extensions?
In terms of accounting and some of the financial concerns that you're stating, we are working with the new leadership in county and have received some much more detailed information than we have in recent past. And it is definitely an item that is addressed as a point of discussion and clarification for the new ILA, so that we are not in the same position that we have been in the last 5-6 years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Grimm, do you have anything?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for asking.
Not a problem. Thank you. With that, do we have a motion?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to move to approve joint resolution number 4604, modifying the interlocal cooperation agreement between the City of Pasco and Franklin County, Washington, regarding the financing, acquisition, and ownership of a multi-purpose arena and exposition facility, the Hapo Center.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Milne, second by Ms. Blaisdell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Grimm?
Oh, I said aye.
Sorry, didn't catch you. Thank you for clarifying. Sounds like that passes unanimously, Ms. Clerk. So, just one quick question on that staff. Will you be able to either transmit something signed or some confirmation that we passed this, just as a heads up ahead of their meeting tomorrow morning?
I was planning on sending county administrator an email tonight. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know you're working long hours, but it's always good to give them a heads up before they take action or don't.
I was going to do it during the meeting, but
Perfect. I wasn't going to call you out there. I was just going to give you kudos for long hours. With that, we're going to roll on to item number 6, which is adjournment of the special meeting